There is a moment in every great tournament when the football stops mattering quite as much as everything surrounding it. When the decisions made off the pitch begin to cast a shadow over what happens on it. When the cost of a ticket, the outcome of a complaint, the weight of history between two nations, all of it converges into something larger than the game itself. Day 10 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup is one of those moments. It began, as most controversies do, quietly. Algeria had faced Argentina. The result did not go their way. But in the hours that followed the final whistle, something unusual happened. Something that speaks to the fragile, often contentious relationship between footballing nations and the institution that governs them. Algeria reportedly lodged a formal complaint with FIFA over the refereeing decisions in that match. This is not a small act. It is a declaration, an assertion that justice was not served inside the lines of the pitch, and that those in power must be held accountable. Whether FIFA will respond, and how, remains to be seen. But the act itself sends a signal across the entire tournament, that not every team will walk away in silence when they believe the system has failed them. And yet, even as that controversy simmers, the tournament moves forward. It always does. 4 matches are scheduled for Day 10, each one carrying its own weight, its own stakes, its own story. Germany face Ivory Coast in Toronto. Ecuador take on Curacao in Kansas City. Tunisia meet Japan in Monterrey. But none of these matches carry the psychological complexity, the historical texture, or the sheer narrative weight of what is scheduled to unfold in Houston. The Netherlands versus Sweden. These two nations have met 20 times, 20 encounters that stretch back across decades of European football, across qualifying campaigns, tournaments, and the quiet but persistent rivalry that has shaped both footballing identities. The most recent chapter was written in 2017, a 2018 World Cup qualifying match. The Dutch won, 2-0. It was, in many ways, a statement, a reminder of a pattern that has defined this rivalry more than any other statistic. Sweden have won just one of their last 7 meetings with the Netherlands. 1 win in 7. That number tells a story more honestly than any pre-match narrative. It speaks to the psychological weight that Sweden carry into this fixture, the accumulated memory of near misses and defeats, of a rival that has, more often than not, found a way to prevail. But history, in football, is not destiny. Sweden arrived at this World Cup with purpose. Their opening match, a win over Tunisia, was not a modest statement. It was a declaration of intent, a signal that this team had not come to make up the numbers, to be a respectable opponent for stronger sides. And yet, the mathematics of prediction are unforgiving. Opta's statistical model gives the Netherlands a 55.9% chance of victory. Sweden's chances are rated at just 20.8%. A draw sits at 23.3%. Numbers, of course, do not play the match. They do not account for the moments of individual brilliance, for the tactical adjustments made at halftime, for the emotional charge that can shift an entire game in the space of 60 seconds. But they do reflect something real, the cumulative weight of squad quality, recent form, and historical precedent. Here is the question that hangs over this fixture, and perhaps over the entire Group D. Can Sweden do what their recent record suggests they cannot, and find a way to defeat the Netherlands when it matters most? Because Group D is not yet settled. The result in Houston will send ripples through the table, reshaping paths to qualification, altering the calculus of every team still fighting for their place in the knockout rounds. This is the nature of the group stage. Every match is connected. Every result reverberates. Away from the pressure of the group standings, 2 other stories demand attention. The United States have secured their place in the knockout stage berth. A win over Australia confirmed it, a result that carries significance beyond the sporting, given that this tournament is being hosted on American soil. There is something deeply symbolic about the host nation booking their passage forward early. It quiets a particular kind of anxiety, the fear of embarrassment on home ground, and replaces it with the quieter, more focused pressure of a team that now knows what it must do next. Brazil, meanwhile, are closing in. Their win keeps qualification within reach, inching them closer to a knockout stage berth that, for a nation with their history, feels less like an achievement and more like an obligation. These are teams that carry the expectations of entire nations. The weight of that is not theoretical. It is present in every training session, every team meeting, every moment before a player steps onto the pitch. And then there is Vancouver. Far from the drama of refereeing controversies and crucial group stage matches, a different kind of question is being asked, one that speaks to the growing tension between the commercial realities of modern football and its role as a sport for everyone. The cost of attending matches in Vancouver has drawn scrutiny. Questions are being raised. Fans, the lifeblood of the game, are finding themselves priced out of the very spectacle they have supported for decades. It is a conversation that will not be resolved by the end of this tournament, but it is a conversation that the sport can no longer afford to avoid. There is something instructive about the way a single day of a football tournament can hold so much. A formal complaint that challenges the integrity of officiating, a rivalry rooted in 20 years of history, nations on the threshold of qualification, and a quiet, uncomfortable debate about who football is really for. Day 10 of the 2026 World Cup is not just a collection of fixtures. It is a mirror, held up to a sport that is simultaneously the most popular on Earth and one of the most contested in its governance, its economics, and its soul. The matches will be played. The results will be recorded. Algeria's complaint will be processed, or it will not. But the deeper questions about fairness, about access, about what it means to host the greatest sporting event in the world, those will outlast every goal scored and every whistle blown. In football, as in life, the game and everything surrounding it are inseparable. And on day 10, both are asking us to pay very close attention.